Good morning or good afternoon, good evening, guys, whenever you watch this video. But what we're going to look at today is we're going to look at adding integers with models. And I really think that if you understand the concept of creating a zero pair, it's going to help you with algebra, it's going to help you with solving equations. It's really going to be like the foundation of a lot of things. So even if you think, oh, I already know the rule, how to do this, still do it with me. Do it with me, and I think you'll see an advantage or to using it or to understanding it. So I'm going to flip it around and we're going to get started. We're going to start on page 199 in your book. I'm going to be using some yellow and red counters, and I'm going to show you where those are in your online book. So you have virtual ones that you can use. So those will be really nice for you to be able to use. So I'll show you how to use those too. Okay, so let me flip it around. Alrighty. So we're going to look right here. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. Here we go. Oh, okay. How fitting that this first one is talking about football. So I was excited that OU won against TCU on Saturday. Boomer Sooner. But I do have to like TCU too because my godchild went to TCU. She graduated from there. So my heart's in both places. Anyway, the very first problem says, how can I select tools and techniques to determine when the sum of two integers is a negative number? Okay, so this is our question that we want to keep in our brain and think about as we're going through this. So it says, in football, forward progress is represented by a positive integer. Losing yardage is represented by a negative integer. On the first play, a team lost 5 yards. On the second play, the team lost 2 yards. What was the team's total yardage on the 2 plays? Okay, and so they're going to walk us through this problem right here on the worksheet. And so it says you can use concrete objects such as counters to find the total yardage. So our counters are yellow on one side for the positive and red for the negative. Okay. And so right here it says use negative integers to represent the yards lost on each play. So it says that they lost, the first play the team lost 5 yards. So a loss of 5 yards would be a negative 5. Okay? And then it says a loss of 2 yards. Okay, so they lost 2 more yards, right? And so it says what you can do is you can combine a set of 5 negative and a set of 2 negative. Okay? So I'm going to kind of move this over here, and I'm going to show you my 5 negative counters, okay? And then I'm going to have 2 more negative counters here. And so I have a total of 7 negative counters, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's what they're showing you right here, is that you would have a total of 7 negative counters. So negative 5 plus negative 2 is negative 7. And the team lost a total of 7 yards on the first 2 plays. Notice something right here. You notice how they have this negative 2 in parentheses? It's kind of giving you a heads up like, hey, don't miss this. There's a negative sign there. Okay? So just be aware of that. All right? Now let's go to page 200. This part right here is huge. Huge, huge, huge. Put a big old star by that. It says the following two properties are important when modeling operations with integers. Okay. When one positive counter is paired with one negative counter, the result is a zero pair. The value of a zero pair is 0. So basically they're saying if you've got a positive and a negative, they cancel each other out. It would be like if I gave you $1 and then I took $1 away, you would have nothing, right? So you can add or remove zero pairs from a mat because adding or removing 0 does not change the value of the counters on the mat. You can add or remove 0 pairs. Okay? And so this is going to make sense in just a second. Okay, so here we have used the counters to determine -4 plus 2. So they have, it says combine -4, so 4 negative counters with 2 positive counters. Okay? So here we would have, I'm going to draw them. Negative, 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 negative. And then we have positive, positive. Okay? So a positive and a negative makes a 0 pair, right? So I'm going to cross off my 0 pairs. That's a 0 pair. That's a 0 pair. And what's my answer? My answer is -2. And see, they did that right there. Okay? They removed the 0 pairs, and then you're left with -2. All right? So there are 2 negative counters remaining. So -4 plus 2 would be -2. So it says, how would you model and sum change if the addition expression was positive 4 plus -2? Okay, let's put that question in plain English. How would you model and find the answer? How's that? Of this problem. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we have 1, 2. Okay, so that would be a 0 pair. That would be a 0 pair. And my answer would be +2. Okay, so how is the model different? Well, we have 4 positive counters and 2 negative counters. You cross off the 0 pairs and you're left with your answer, right? Okay, but they're really kind of wanting us to analyze that. And so basically, because we had more positive counters, our answer is positive. So that's a better, let's see, I need to write with a pen so y'all can see this better. Okay, let's just do this. Oh, okay. So let's do, so it would be we had more positive counters when we started. So our answer will be, can I just put positive, plus sign for positive because I ran out of room. Okay. So we had more positive counters when we started, so we know our answer is going to be positive. That's an interesting way of looking at it. Okay. And we'll talk more about this in just a second. But let's look at the next page. Okay. Page 201. Okay. Page 201. I'm going to use a yellow and red colored pencil. Okay. And you can do that as well. You can, do your pluses and your negatives. But let me tell you something, people. If you do not show me what this model looks like, you're not going to get credit for it. Okay, does everybody hear me on that? Because the last time we had a thing like this with models, people just got the answers and they didn't get credit for the homework. So be sure. So we're going to have, can you see those yellows? I don't know if you can see that. Okay. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And those are all going to be yellow because those are going to be positives, right? And then we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And those are all positive. Now I know that you guys can look at that and go, Miss Baroque, 5 plus 6 is 11. I know that. But I want you to know what the model looks like. Okay? And of course, they start off with an easy one, don't they? Let's look at this one. Let's look at 6. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So these are all negatives. So I'm going to shade those red. Okay. And then my positives are going to be yellow, just like my counters. All right. And then I'm going to take away my 0 pairs. Okay. So I'm going to go, that's 1, that's 1, that's 1. This would be 1, this would be 1. And I'm left with that as my answer. Do you see that? And it's really, I think it's really easier when you, and I'm going to show you the same problem with these counters. And you can use the counters in on your online book. So your answer there would be -1. Now, you remember what they just said on that previous page where the number of counters that you started with that had the most would be the sign of your answer? Okay, so we had more negatives than we did positives. So that tells you that your answer is going to be negative, doesn't it? Because when we're adding, okay? So let me show you what that one would look like using the counters. So if we had negative, we had -6, right? And then we added +5. Okay? See if you can see them all. All right. So just take them away. You go, okay, a positive and negative is a 0 pair. Take it away, 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 and look what's left. There's your answer. All right. Okay. Your assignment is going to be page 201 and 202, and you're going to do let's do 1 through 16. Okay, 1 through 16. All right. Now I want to take a moment and I want to show you in your math book where your where your virtual models are. Okay, so I'm going to, hopefully this will work. I bet it doesn't work. Okay, let's go back. It's still recording. Okay, I'm going to pause this, or actually I'm going to stop recording, and then I'll do another recording showing you where it is in your book. Okay, so I hope this made sense, and if you have questions, be sure and hop on during one time and let me help you. Okay, have a great day.